£2 billion in funding this year. Earlier this morning, we heard that Thames Water has been hit by a record fine by the regulator Ofwat. It's been ordered to pay a penalty of more than £120 million following 2 investigations. The majority of the fine has been levied for breaches of wastewater rules. It was found to have caused an unacceptable impact on the environment as its treatment works and on its sewage network as well. Joining me live is Ash Smith, the founder of Windrush Against Sewage Pollution, or WASP for short. That is a group that tries to end sewage polluting our rivers, like that of the River Windrush in central England. Great to talk to you, Ash. Got to ask you first, what's your reaction to that fine this morning?
Well, we ought to feel good about that, didn't we? Because at least Ofwat is taking an interest, kind of doing the job of the Environment Agency if it's looking at the environmental impact of Thames Water's gross and systematic failure. But really, this has been going on now for 35 years. Because those fines, despite what they say, those fines are going to be picked up by the customer. So recently, I did a piece of work with Ofwat, with the Freedom of Information Act, and I asked them to show me how the shareholders and not the customers had paid Thames Water's £20 million fine in 2017 and Southern Water's £90 million fine in 2021. And they can't, because the only source of money into the water industry is the bill payer. So we'll get a little rebate back. The company will carry on. The bosses will keep picking up the bonuses, and nothing is going to change.
Let me play you the boss of Thames Water, Chris Weston. This is when he spoke to MPs a little early this month. He said that the company's survival depended on the regulator, Ofwat, being lenient. This is what he said.
The regulatory regime needs to attract investment. It needs to allow for companies of different types operating in different environments, and also for companies that might be in trouble, that they can turn around and improve their performance.
And Ash, let me read you and everyone listening what Thames Water have said today. They've said, "We take our responsibility towards the environment very seriously and note that Ofwat acknowledges we have already made progress to address issues raised in the investigation relating to storm overflows. The dividends were declared following a consideration of the company's legal and regulatory obligations. Our lenders continue to support our liquidity position and our equity raise process continues." So bearing in mind that statement and what you heard from Chris Weston, what do you feel about the size of the fine?
Well, first of all, Chris Weston is really disingenuous in what he says there. He says it's essential that we attract investment, but that isn't the case at all. What we attract is shareholders, people who come in and own a bit of the company, and then they take these dividends. All of the money, as has been shown by various academics, auditors, accountants, all of the money comes from bill payers and from loans paid for by bill payers. So that is a complete nonsense that we actually need these people to be involved. And his suggestion that somehow there are going to be multiple ways of running and rescuing companies, and it's the regulator's obligation to let them get away with this, to attract more of them to do this, is so ridiculous that it shows that it's long overdue for government to take a grip, take Thames Water into special administration, bring it back into public ownership, where we remove the motive for cheating, gaming, exploiting the customer, and get on with giving Thames Water staff who have to work in this environment, give them the resources and the money to do the job, not hive it off in various cunning ways to different shareholders and creditors.
Well, Ash, let's bring it back to what you do day to day, which is you look at the river and you look at the water near where you live. That's very hard to say. The River Windrush, getting my R's and my W's confused there. But what do you see in the rivers that you monitor? How do you see the pollution affecting the water quality?
The water quality is affected by the treated effluent, in which mostly the nutrients like phosphate and nitrate are not removed because companies penny pinch on that and they're not required to do it. So that causes something called eutrophication, which results in fine brown algae and slime coating the plants, which then die. The fish populations have fallen off. The River Windrush has gone from being a beautiful, absolutely stunning piece of life with lovely greenweed, flowering ranunculus, masses of fish, but regarded as like an aquarium, to a kind of a grey, dull shadow of its former self. It's still got fish in it. It's still got some mayfly hatching at the moment, but the numbers are way down on historical numbers, and it's a situation repeated across the country. So we do a bit of monitoring like that, but mainly we investigate the financial skullduggery, and we prove through our data analysis Professor Peter Hammond, he shown that the water company, through their flow data mainly, they are routinely using illegal pollution as an opportunity to prop up failure to invest.
Well, obviously, we will put that to Thames Water when we get a chance. We've also heard from the Environment Agency today. The government has launched the toughest crackdown on water companies in history. This is what they said today, Steve Reed. Last week, we announced a record 81 criminal investigations have been launched into water companies. Today, Ofwat announced the largest fine ever handed to a water company in history. The era of profiting from failure is over. The government's cleaning up our rivers, lakes and seas for good. The time is 10:50.
Where the news never stops.